A very warm welcome on a warm day here in Australia to day 5 of our beautiful Christmas spirituality series. My name's Angie, and it's so lovely to share this experience with all of you. So last night, we heard from Elise, and we got a child's eye view of what it means to belong. And I was really touched by something that Elise said. She mentioned about the family tree, and the family tree is held together by the super glue of love. And it's really something to consider. The closeness of your blood family or relations, but you know, we would understand that as a world family, we're all together and we're all connected. So tonight, this is day 5 of the Christmas series, and tonight the topic is gifts. And I've been reflecting about this topic, gifts, and you know, this week, you know, in the lead up to Christmas, and you know, the tradition at Christmas is gift giving, and I've been reflecting a lot about that this week. That as I've been preparing gifts for my family, and as I've been preparing those gifts, the time of preparation has been really so very wonderful, because you know, when you're preparing a gift that you're going to give to someone, I've found myself really, when I'm doing that, really appreciating the relationship that I have with that particular person, and really appreciating what that person means to me. So really, it's been such a lovely experience. And not that I had very many gifts to prepare, but each one, I really felt such a sense of appreciation of that person in my life. And so, of course, that made it a very nice experience for me. So tonight, you know, this is an international program, and we've been hearing from all corners of the world. So we've heard from Canada and Iceland and Italy, and last night New Zealand. So tonight I'd really love to introduce a very dear friend of ours, and she's based in Singapore, and her name's Rahini. And Rahini's a very special soul. She's actually spent a lot of time in Australia, and she's very special to us here in Australia. Rahini's really had an interest in spirituality for her whole life. So, and I think that's a marvelous thing right from childhood. And tonight she's got a really great insight to share about giving. And she's also got some tips to share with you about the giving experience. So I'd like to hand over to Rahini now. And as you know, this is a recording that she's done, but I'm sure you're going to enjoy it just as much as I've enjoyed it when I've watched it earlier. So let me hand over now to Rahini.
My name is Rohini and I live in Singapore. And yes, for me, Christmas means gifts. And when I think of gifts, then of course, Santa Claus, gifts from Santa Claus, and also, me giving gifts to my friends at Christmas, right? And for me, Christmas has most of the time been in India. And so each year when I do go, at that time, I always take a lot of chocolates to give out on Christmas Day, and a little, small little gift cards for me to write some personal notes to friends and family members. And so on Christmas Day, I actually set up like Santa Claus, with my big bag of chocolates, and I start distributing them. And of course, friends and family members will be really pleased. But I always made it a point to give it to strangers as well, like whoever who comes in my path that day. And I always remember, there was very something, I mean, yes, I would get a nice appreciation from my friends and family members, but there was always an extra sense of joy in the strangers that I would give to. And so this made me, reflect and think, how interesting is that, and why is that, there's some sense of a more kind of a joy in my heart when I give to strangers. And, maybe, yes, it's there, but maybe not as much when I give to my friends and family members. And then I realize it's because I am very, 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 minutely somewhere having a bit of expectations from my friends and family members, versus when I give to strangers, I have no expectations at all, right? And expectations, it's not anything big, but maybe just a thank you, or maybe I really want something in return. So anyway, it made me really think, what was the true joy of giving gifts? And if we put Santa Claus, for example, he never really asks us for anything in return, does he? Right? He's just there, and his father Santa is here, and he's just gonna give us all the gifts in the world, right? That we want, yeah. And so it really made me put to thought, well, if I'm gonna give a gift to someone, then let me give it for the sake of giving, because I want to give happiness to that person, or because I appreciate that person because of some speciality, or some special role that that person has played in my life, but not because I want something back in return from them. Like I want them to appreciate me, or I want them to keep, make sure they give me a gift as well. Nothing like that. So yeah, to me, it has giving gifts at Christmas has really opened my eyes, and given me a new perspective. Why do I give gifts? So I hope you can take this with you this year. And like often you would have heard the quote, right? It's not the gift that counts, it's the thought behind the gift that actually counts, right? My intent that counts. So for me, this has really, really become a more meaningful festival. So, together with my gifts, I usually now give a gift card of a little speciality that I write about that person. So, um, yeah, so instead of just saying, oh, thank you for blah, 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 whatever, I actually write, well, this is what I see in you. I see that, you are a very stable person, or I see that you're a very sweet person, very kind, caring person. So I've started to do this now. And I feel it has brought back a lot more sense of contentment and fulfillment in just this simple act of giving gifts. So I hope with that, you can take it on board yourself too, and enjoy this Christmas. Merry Christmas from Singapore. Om Shanti.
So I told you that it was going to be lovely, and it really, really was, wasn't it? So So beautiful to be in Singapore, even if only for a short while, and to hear Rohini's wonderful insights. And it's really something to realise about expectations, but also she mentioned about seeing the specialty in another, and it's a very valuable thing. You know, I was thinking as she was speaking that one of the things that I think we almost do automatically, but often we may not realise, is give it of ourselves. And so when, you know, it's very easy to get caught up in the hype, if you like, of giving material gifts, and that's very nice. But to really give a gift of ourselves is something incredibly special too. And when I'm giving a gift of myself, you know, as Rohini was mentioning about seeing something in the other, what have I got in me that I can share with others? Perhaps it's a gift of kindness, or a gift of compassion, or a gift of generosity. I think one of the most valuable gifts that we can give is our time. And for many of us, we're so very time poor that often seems difficult to do. But for people who are thirsty for companionship and loving care, if we can give a few minutes of our time, it's a very special thing, and always, I think, appreciated. So I'd like to pass over to you now and ask you a question. What gifts have you received that you've really treasured? So what gifts have you received that you've really treasured? And we've got the chat box open, but you're also very welcome to unmute and share. We'd love to hear from you.
Hi, Angie.
Hi, Nancy.
Hi. So, wow, it was an amazing video and sharing. And the tip, I love the tip that she mentioned. When you are giving, just write what you appreciate about them. And that's so true. That makes the gift, even a small cute chocolate, which is obviously very sweet, but it makes it even more so sweet because you receive it with so much love and appreciation, and not an expectation that, oh, I have to give something back. Yeah. And the question that you asked, that what is the gift that we treasure? If I look back, I can't come up with any materialistic thoughts that I would have treasured, but it is actually that love and that compassion, that is that the effort they would have put in to give it to me at any point of time. And that is what really I had felt, and that's what's treasured.
Isn't that so very interesting? Because we've been given so many gifts. You know, if we think back on our lifetime, we've been given so many material gifts, but what is it that we remember? It's not the material gifts that we remember. It's these gifts of the self, as you say. So beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful. I'm sure we've got lots of wonderful ideas percolating around out there, and we'd really love to you to gift some of your ideas to us. So please feel free to speak up and share the gifts of your ideas.
Hi, I would like to share about a gift that I received this afternoon, and it was a beautiful plum-coloured orchid that my father had sent. Yeah, so
that's really beautiful, Kate. Lovely.
Yeah, and it's just very vibrant colour, and I've got it by the window, and it's still buds that haven't bloomed yet, and and I think there's something special about that. Yeah,
very beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And Marjan, I can see that you're unmuted.
Hello everyone, sorry I was a bit late. But I got the whole idea. I'm very lucky to even have this deep of the conversation with you lovely ladies. And let's talk about the um, group. Um, the beautiful things that um, I'm usually giving to my friends. I'm trying to not give much material as um, since I start to um, know the Brahma Kumaris and but how much sorry, how much the materials is all about the decoration, and it's not about us, it's not about our soul. We have to more rely on our soul, and what we have to share is our peace, our love. One of the things that I try to share is my art, because I'm an artist, and
Okay.
I try to be artist actually. I don't know, I can call myself artist or not, but yeah. So I try to when this time of the year, I try to do some art for my friends and wrap it and give it to them. Um, often or in the birthday, to just if I know they love, for example, the view of the ocean or view of the landscape, or they love flower. So I choose that subject, and I paint or draw that thing and give it to them. That's something from my inside mixed up with the things that I know that they like it. And the pick up letter and words, and the ladies that just, I don't know her name, that just thought she was tutoring the session. I don't know what was her name. So she said something about that person. I'm gonna add that one to my gift as well, to write about the person. How do I know that person at the word in behind the canvas, and say, okay, for example, you're a kind person, or you have a beautiful mind, or you're very caring, or yeah, what you find is that person. I think it's very lovely if the person finds um, oh yeah, I have that things in my that's I think that's very beautiful and very lovely. If the talk about we admire that to them, that it's so grateful to have you as a friend because you're kind, or you're
Yeah,
um
very nice. Yeah. Yeah. And you really, it's giving, it's absolutely from the heart when it's like that, isn't it? So, so very beautiful. Thank you, Martin. Lovely. Thank you for sharing.
you're
And
welcome.
Sashi, I can see that you're unmuted.
Yes, Om Shanti. I came very late. I always miss the 6 to 6:15. It's a busy time for me, but I managed. So I don't know whether you talked about this, but I feel apart from many gifts, the main gift is the star. From the star, as you mentioned before, from the star we get these gifts. And the 2 or 3 best gift I feel is the gift of knowing who am I and who I was, and knowing who God is really. That's the best gift, I thought, for me. Thank you.
Very, very beautiful. Thank you. And I'm sure there's many people who would be nodding and agreeing with you, Sashi. That's really lovely. So is there anyone else would like to share? Looks like we've had some really beautiful sharings, and as we move through this series, it's such a special time. Marilyn, I can see you're unmuted.
Thanks, Angie. I received a very special gift from a complete stranger. I was at the supermarket checkout with a very limited budget, and I told the lady at the checkout stop at a certain amount, and I had to pass back a carton of ginger beer. And ginger beer I can live without, but I do like to live with it. So I went out to my car, and a person from the supermarket came chasing me with a carton of ginger beer. I said, oh, no, I can't have it. I couldn't afford it today. And he said, no, we're giving it to you. And I was just overwhelmed. And then when I got, and I said to him, well, thank you. That's so lovely. Today is my birthday, so that can be my birthday present.
Oh.
And as I was walking out to my car, a couple went past me, and this chap quietly said to me, "Happy birthday." And I said, "Oh, it was you." And he didn't say anything. And his wife said, "No, it was the Christmas fairy." And I was just overwhelmed with the generosity of complete strangers in a world where we all seem to be rushing past and not paying attention. Or even here, living on the border, there's quite a lot of angst between Victoria and New South Wales. And it just restored my faith in humanity. It was lovely.
Really, very beautiful. And it actually, you're the recipient of, Rahini spoke of giving gifts to strangers and how good that made her feel. So you've just given us the other perspective of what it's like to receive from a stranger in such a beautiful exchange. So Marilyn, thank you so much.
Thanks,
So we've
Amy.
had a really lovely sharing tonight, and a couple of things to mention now. Firstly is don't forget the feedback form. There's a feedback form that you can complete after the session. And tomorrow, day 6, we're still traveling around the globe. Tomorrow we're going to New York. And the topic tomorrow is one that really aligns with Christmas for me, and I'm sure for so many in the times that we're living, and it's hope. So do tune in for Hope from New York tomorrow night. And I'd like to wish you all a peaceful and a happy Christmas, one that's full of love. And I do hope from my heart to yours that everything in your life that you wish to receive is yours. So wishing you a Merry Christmas and see you next time. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Angie. Om Shanti, everyone.